Welcome to Planet MicroCap. I'm your host, Robert Kraft, and joining me right now is Dennis Nguyen. He is the chairman, founder, and CEO of Society Pass. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is SOPA on Nasdaq. And Society Pass will be presenting at our upcoming in-person investor conference, the Planet MicroCap Showcase Vancouver, happening September 6th and 7th, 2023. For more information, to meet Dennis, see him present, meet with him one-on-one, please go to planetmicrocapshowcase.com. And with that, Dennis, good to see you, man. How you doing?
It's good to see you, brother. How you doing?
Oh, just gearing up here, making it work.
Good.
So look, dude, you actually, last time we did an interview together was back in April. That's when you also presented at our conference, the Planet MicroCap Showcase Vegas. But before we get into the update, anything like that, for anybody that's missed any of our conversations over the years, can you give us that quick overview of Society Pass, and then we'll go from there?
Yeah, Society Pass, as you may know, Robert, is a fintech and e-commerce ecosystem based in, we're headquartered in Singapore, but obviously we operate in 5 of the largest Southeast Asian countries, principally Vietnam, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, and Singapore. The company currently has over 200 employees. We're growing very quickly. We operate north of 10 subsidiaries in verticals such as loyalty, food and beverage delivery, lifestyle, digital advertising, travel, and of course telecoms. And so we're very busy doing a lot of things. A lot of things that we said in the IPO, we are doing it one by one. In fact, I don't know if you saw, but we actually formally launched our loyalty platform in late June, as we said we would, and things are moving out very, very nicely since we started. We now have onboarded over 3.3 million registered users on our platform and over 650,000 registered merchants on our platform. So things are going great. Revenues are growing. If you've been following us year on year, last 5 years since we started a business, anywhere from 500 to 1,000% year on year every single year.
Very good. So let's build upon some of that update that you kind of started to get into a little bit there. Last like I said, we did an interview. We published that on April 19th, 2023. It's been about 4 or 5 months, right, since we put that out there. Can you give us that full update, everything that's been going on with Society Pass, maybe some of the highlights?
Yeah. So again, the number one thing, of course, is our loyalty platform got launched. So going forward, what that means, of course, is consumers in Southeast Asia can start redeeming loyalty points. So we are integrating that as we speak into our travel platform, which is newsatrip.com. So you want to buy a ticket, airline ticket from anywhere in the world to anywhere in the world, you can do that. You want to book a hotel room from anywhere in the world, you can do that. And while you do that, you'll be earning loyalty points. Of course, our digital advertising platform, Thoughtful Media, is just growing like wildfire. Since we talked, we acquired a company called New Wave. Thoughtful Media acquired a company called New Wave in Indonesia. And as part of that transaction, we onboarded over 10,000 influencers, creators onto our digital advertising platform. And so very much presenting a end-to-end solution for brands and advertisers in Southeast Asia that want to crack the influencer advertising market. So there's a lot of other things going on. And another thing of note is Next Gen Retail, which is our retail platform that currently owns La Flare Vietnam, fashion e-commerce platform in Vietnam. We signed an agreement in late June, to acquire a company called Story. Story, of course, is based in Indonesia. It's one of the largest Apple Store retail chains in Southeast Asia. Company last year generated $30 million in revenues. And we expect something like that, if not more. And so with one fell swoop, our Next Gen Retail e-commerce platform just grows significantly. So a lot of very interesting things going on, very good things going on. And encourage all of your viewers to check out Society Pass.
Very cool. All right. So, what another follow-up to all that, like I said, we did speak back in April. And one of the things that I wanted to ask you about is, when you were putting together in your head, okay, I want to put together this ecosystem for all these different things, loyalty, fintech, e-commerce. what was your criteria for one, just, okay, we want this vertical, we want to be in fintech, we want to be in e-commerce, we want to be in loyalty. And then from there, finding which companies made the most sense that fit that vision that you were trying to put into place.
Yeah, from a macro, that's a great question. From a macro perspective, let's take a step back. Southeast Asia has 685 million people, twice the size of the United States, half the size of China. Okay, this is a area of the world, quite frankly, is 10% of the world's population, almost 10% of the world's population. And all of the economies are growing fabulously quickly, anywhere from 4.5% to 7.5% GDP growth rate this year, Robert, this year. And so and when I was starting the company, I realized that where am I going to go? I want to go to a place where there's a lot of people that know the internet. By the way, Southeast Asians spend 8 to 10 hours a day online buying and selling stuff. So this is a part of the world that understands e-commerce. Okay. And then also Southeast Asia is very, very young. The per capita GDP, the per capita median age of Southeast Asia is roughly 28, 29 right now. You compare that with here in the United States at 42, compare that with China at 53, you compare that with Japan at 52. So this is a relatively young population that's tech savvy, that understands the internet, that's growing very, very quickly. So as I did that, I then morphed into what is going to be very interesting in building this ecosystem. Well, we know that somewhere around 62, 63% of all Southeast Asians are unbanked. What does that mean? They don't have a bank account. Think about that. How are you going to buy stuff off the internet? How are you going to buy stuff online if you don't have a bank account or a credit card? Well, that's where fintech comes in. That's where our loyalty platform comes in. And so when we built this loyalty platform, we did it with the idea of eventually, at the end of the day, we're going to provide payment services in addition to loyalty, a digital wallet for these unbanked Southeast Asians. And so one of the very fascinating developments that we just had over the last couple months is we signed a strategic partnership with a company called 2CPC. 2CPC is effectively the de facto payments platform for Southeast Asia. It's a company that's majority owned by Alipay. Alipay, of course, is the payments platform of the largest internet company in the world, Alibaba. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that's happening. We're trying to get all of the pieces together, whether it be e-commerce, fashion retail, travel, digital advertising, telecoms, food and beverage delivery, all in one house. We circulate the loyalty points. The loyalty points, as the platform grows, eventually becomes an alternative currency. And so that's where Society Pass is heading. I'm very excited as we build out this business plan and actually do what we said we were going to do in our IPO.
Very good. All right. So to close this out here today, because we're going to, keep this short form, want folks to go and meet with you and see your presentation, right, in Vancouver, or if they can't make it to see the webcast.
They don't want to see my bald face. They're going to see your handsome face.
Don't worry. Don't worry. It's only audio plus slides. You don't have to worry about it. So, but having said that, to kind of close out here today, looking ahead from what you can tell us, we've talked already about, the focus on acquisitions to building out the platform. Can you give us, some more in terms of, where you're at in some of that progress, and maybe some one or two things that folks can expect, I guess, for the rest of 2024,
again,
2023, excuse me, going into 2024.
Yeah, again, last year we generated $5.6 million of sales. I anticipate a similar growth rate this year, 500 to 1,000%. So now you know exactly where I think my revenues are going to be this year. I also told the market that we are approaching profitability on a group-wide basis, cash profitability. In fact, my two largest subsidiaries, Nusatrip and TMG, are going to be P&L profitable, not just cash profitable, but P&L profitable this year. And so you're seeing that. You're seeing a lot of growth, but backed by some very strong profitable growth. Okay. And so again, very different from a lot of our competitors. We're very methodical in building out our ecosystem. We're not spending crazy money. We're actually very cheap as we do this. People don't like me using the word cheap. I would say I'm very efficient in the deployment of our cash reserves. And so that's basically what you're going to be seeing, Robert, over the next for the rest of the 2023.
Very good. All right. Well, with that, Dennis, where can our audience go and find more information on Society Pass?
Go to the societypass.com, whether it's and go to any social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube. It's Society Pass, or some of our subsidiaries, Thoughtful Media, Trip, Next Gen Retail, Gorilla Mobile, so on and so forth.
Very good. Well, Dennis, thank you so much for joining me today. Really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. I look forward to seeing you in Vancouver.
Look forward to it, brother.